Back in June, the legislature failed to vote on a tax credit package, all to bring a Sony and Warner Brothers campus to Summerlin. But Warner Brothers did fulfill a promise to UNLV.
I mean, I would get home and my cheeks would hurt because of how much I was smiling each and every day.
Walking around the lot and being able to do that freely without saying, hey, get off the lot, you're not supposed to be here.
Every corner we turned, there would just be something new every day that we would see, so it just always felt like I was in a magical place.
This is just a huge stepping stone for my career and for the rest of my life, because it really confirmed that this is what I love and that this is what I want to do. The first day, I feel like I had a mini heart attack because you round a corner and there's the Warner Brothers water tower in front of you, which is so iconic. Even if you don't know a lot about Warner Brothers Studios, you know the water tower. And to drive underneath it, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it still.
Students say they learned how networking is a crucial part of making it in film business. They hope to one day work in Nevada when the industry continues to grow.
The experience was absolutely priceless for me, not only in my academic career, but I think for my entire life, honestly, even outside of my career, because it really pushed me to wonder and question what my values are and what I really want to do, not only in my career, but in my life and what's important to me.
I have a lot of followers on LinkedIn now from Warner Brothers, which is pretty cool. And to say that I work there, it's pretty amazing.
My time at Warner Brothers, absolutely priceless. I mean, I feel so grateful being able to just be on the lot, being able to be selected. And it was great because you meet all these other interns and everyone's just so grateful and everyone's kind of sharing where they're at. And it's beautiful because everyone comes from a different place. So it's great to hear about where they want to end up, and they have such these strong passions. And I think that's what really thrives when becoming a film student, because you have to have that love. And at Warner Brothers, during the internship, I felt that love every single day.
I'm graduating in December, and it can be really scary sometimes to leave school, because school is like a security blanket and you think of everything in terms of semesters and papers and assignments and even the films and projects you work on as a student.
Just first of all, just networking with so many people back to back every day. I feel like my soft skills have just really increased, and I feel a lot more confident just talking to people, a lot more knowledgeable, and that I can be more comfortable just being myself, since I have gotten to test so many versions of networking and just talking to different people, seeing how different people like being asked questions or how they like being listened to, things like that.
When we got there, they each paired us with a different mentor based off of our interests.
When we were with special effects for a bit of time, and it was very fun because, I mean, watching movies as a kid, you see all these explosions and you're like, well, how do they do that? So we got to see some of their devices and tools, and the guy that we were with, he was like a professional. He worked on Transformers. He was a great guy, and we got to kind of play around with like, oh, how he makes it snow and how explosions of glass happen and making it rain. And at one point we got to smash like fake bottles on each other's heads, us interns.
Warner Brothers was very open to the interns networking and reaching out to people even outside of your internship department. So they even have office buildings with like animation and DC Comics, and I made an active effort to try to email people and learn more about the industry and just see what the avenues that I like and how people got into their roles and how I can get further in there.
It was amazing. There's no way to, oversell how incredible it was to be there and to get to work with not just industry professionals, but people who have been there for 30, 40, 50, and even 60 years. I was paired with a mentor, Robert Greenfield, who has an extensive career in set decoration, and he's also the head of property at Warner Brothers. And we had a lot of conversations about his career and where he's at now and just how passionate he is within the industry. And he was really encouraging and would always offer up like really amazing advice to me, not only about the industry and how to kind of make your way in it, but also to figure out where I feel like I belong. And he was really helpful in that way. And it was such a crazy experience to be able to sit down with my fellow interns and people at Warner Brothers and actually come up with the ideas for an internal commercial that they were shooting. and help plan out the set decoration and what kind of items you want to see on the set. And I just remember walking into an actual Warner Brothers soundstage that had a set that they had built just for this commercial that we had helped write and that we had helped decorate and design with all of these professionals and their insane cameras and insane rigs. It was such a unique and crazy experience that I will never forget. The most meaningful professional I got to work alongside with was Chris Carroll, who's in charge of the Warner Brothers lighting department. I'm really interested in cinematography and lighting, and that was a professional who, it was really eye-opening to see how he works, and he's worked with Warner Brothers for almost 15 years now, and it gave me a lot of hope. I think also film can feel a little scary because it's an industry where you have to be networking, working hard. You can't, stop attempting to get work or find work or meet new people and always wanting to be on the next project. And to see how he succeeded at Warner Brothers, I think it's hard to believe somebody could have a long-term job in film, I think, unless you're thinking of big directors or big writers that you already know of. But there's so many people, artists, craftsmen, writers who work at Warner Brothers full-time and are just as creatively fulfilled. And it was really incredible to get to meet with those people.
It was the premiere of F1 on the Warner Brothers lots, and we got to go into the SJR theater, and I got to bring my mom, which usually you don't get to bring outside people. And that day was actually my 21st birthday, and it was F1, which I got to luckily be a production assistant on it when they came to Vegas. So it was really a full circle moment being on the lot and seeing the movie and seeing my credit on the lots.
So getting to walk around with the people who do the lighting on the sets and then seeing their warehouse, seeing the professional equipment people use, how they use it, the different scenarios they can be in, and just seeing this genuinely professional grade setup on everything, and then being able to take that back home and put it into our student work is just absolutely priceless. But another memorable experience I had is actually not film related. I'm a huge comic book nerd, and they have these vaults where, since Warner Brothers acquired DC Comics, they have these vaults where they store some of the most priceless comics, and I got to hold one of the first editions of Superman Action Comics, and I was so excited. I was genuinely like cheek to cheek smile, and I was just thinking about it for the rest of the day. And I even got to network with some people at DC Comics and just sort of see what they do.
I'll never forget, we got to work with Gene Owens, who's head of construction at Warner Brothers. He works with studio services, so it's not construction like set building, but construction for repairs and working on the stages and just the facades, anything like that is his department. And he's worked with Warner Brothers for 40 years now, and it was really crazy. He took us to the highest point on the lot and the lowest point on the lot. So we got to go on the stage 16 perms, which is where they do the rigging and lighting and sometimes sound equipment, and it's 100 feet up. So you have to go up 103 steps to get to the very top. And you look down and the ground seems endless beneath you. A lot of people at Warner Brothers work at desks and do like clerical office work, but it's related to production, and production can't occur without these people, and their jobs are still insanely creative, and they have to come up with creative solutions for how do we get a giraffe on set for a production, and that's not, a normal banker's job. That's something that takes a lot of ingenuity and creativity every day.
And academically, the internship on paper looks amazing, and then it's also, I've learned so much knowledge that I can apply to just take my schoolwork further, and my personal reel, and just every aspect of what I want to do in film, I feel like has just increased after being at Warner Brothers.
I know I want to do film, and if I really work at it and I really work towards it, like a lot of people there too, then I think it's possible for myself. And just that hope and that feeling has really helped keep me going. And I think I will carry it with me no matter what I end up doing in my life. This will always have been a huge stepping stone for me personally.